Hello, this is Edna White. I am so glad you're with me. Today, we're going to go to the next part of how to overcome limiting beliefs and truly break through to the next level. Now, I told you we're going to do three things: identify, reframe, and move forward. Say it with me: identify, reframe, and move forward. We all have these limiting beliefs that stops us from achieving our dreams or even just our everyday goals. Like we say we're getting up in the morning and we're going to do an exercise, then we be like, no, maybe not, and we lounge on the couch. Limiting beliefs. In order to identify and change those beliefs, you need to work on your self-awareness muscle. Now, what is self-awareness? It's knowing what is your triggers, knowing what makes you happy, what makes you glad, what makes you sad, makes you angry, knowing all about you, knowing about what's good and what no longer serves you, and how to get rid of it. The secret, simple, is to be accountable and take responsibility for those beliefs you created, not someone else, but you created for yourself, and get rid of the ones that no longer serve you. Now, ultimately, you want to practice recognizing limiting beliefs and reframing them to help you step forward. You need to step forward. So, you know that saying that everyone always says, you must be the change that you want to see in the world? Hey, so what does that say to you? The change starts with you. Many times, most of us, we want to change everything about everybody else. If we're not getting what we want from somebody, if someone's not making us happy, somebody is not doing what we said they should do, someone's not doing what we think they ought to do, we start to get upset with them. But why? Why? When it's their life. And you're spending energy on someone else's life, being nosy in someone else's life, when your life is a whole wreck and you can't get a handle on things. I often said that about certain professions. Sometimes you have to be your own self-study, right? You have to be like the scientists, like, back in the days when we used to watch Blackula and let me see who else. No. What's the guy named? Well, they would take, I don't know what it was. Scientists would take the medicine themselves, like the Hulk would put the gamma rays in his body. We need to do some of those things that we think is good for somebody else. We need to do for ourselves first. So stop trying to change everyone else and start changing you. Once you start to embrace your ability that you can't change anybody else, that you can only change yourself, and once you start to change and shift your behaviors, guess what everybody else kind of does? They start to contribute to your success. And then they start changing. Not because you told them, not because you mimicked it, but because you're doing something about it in your own life. So you're making a difference in the world. Simple as that. It's not preaching time. It's not teaching time. It's literally giving people information. First, let me back that up. First, applying it to your own life. Secondly, providing well thought out and experiential learned information. And then sharing it with a loving heart. That makes perfect sense, and it makes change in the world. So now that we're there, right, I'm going to give you some exercise. Today's a little exercise. So when you start to reframe, right, realize and reframe, when you start to do all those things, you have to ask yourself questions. Now, I want you to get your pens. And write these questions down. I'm going to give you three. Ready? 3. Question 1. Where do you feel stuck? Not why. Where? Where do you feel stuck? Is it in a relationship? Is it at work? Is it doing a project? Is it when it goes to initiate something for you? Where do you feel stuck? Okay, write that down. You may have the answer. Hurry up and jot it down. But here's the second question. What cycle do you keep repeating? It's such a good one. Whenever I feel that I am repeating a cycle or repeating something over and over again, there's a lesson that I have to learn, and I have to get it quick because it's going to keep repeating itself. Where do you think generational habits come from? Being repeated. See it, do it, repeat it. Right? So where in that cycle, and where in my cycle, do I keep repeating the same things? Right? Third question. What do you beat yourself up about? What labels do you attach to these things that you do repeat? That's a good one. Those two go together though. What do you beat yourself up about? And what are the labels that you put on these things that you repeat? Like, if I have a marvelous idea for a business, right? And then I don't do the business, or I'm saying I'm going to do it and I'm lying to myself every time that I say I'm going to put one foot forward and I don't do it, or I don't have time, I got too much going on, I need 28 hours or 48 hours in a day. What is that telling you? Why do you keep repeating that? And each time you go to start your business, the same thing happens all over again. And we put these labels on there. Oh, it's procrastination. No, it's not. It's just an unwillingness, a fear that you have there that's saying, if I start this business, somebody told you that if you start a business, if you do such and such, if you do anything, you're going to fail. You heard it. And it pricks your heart and upset you. And you let it stay there. And every time you go to proceed with your business, something happens. Something happens. Because someone told you you were going to be a failure. And you don't want to show that part. Now, there are 7 questions. Oh, there's not 7 questions. There's more than that. I'm looking at it now. Hold on. There are 11 questions. 11 in this worksheet. I'm just going to give you the short version because I'm giving you a little tidbit so you know what to expect at the workshop, right? Or if you want me to be your coach, you would get this type of coaching when you individually work with me. Now, as a group, that's exciting because there's so many ideas popping and so many things and so many people that we can all kind of help each other. That's a great way. I do group coaching as well. So back to how to overcome those limiting beliefs and truly break through to the next level. Now, let's get to what was it? I said 3 things that we're going to get to today. What was those 3 things? Huh? What was that? Because I want you to smash these limiting beliefs. We did identify, find out what they were, right? And then reframe them. Now, how do we reframe them? Now, just talking about we procrastinated. Now we take the word and we throw it out the window because that does you no good because that's your go-to word. Every time something happens, your go-to word. You go back to it, you keep using it, and it keeps giving you the same result. So now we're going to reframe that. You can stop labeling what you've done and say the truth. Stop labeling it. So if you have a side business, you have a 9 to 5, then you have a side business, right? And you don't have enough time in a day. Okay. Well, have you set aside any time in the day? Maybe an hour? No. Have you set aside time in general? Have you even given your 9 to 5 some structure so that you are not overworked? Just because you love a position or like it a lot doesn't mean you give it your all. Because what is your all? It's everything. So when you get home, what do you have for you? 0. Think about what you say. Reframe what you say. You can say, I'm going to do my best, but I also would say, strategically put things in place that you're not giving your all and you have some left for what you need to do and what you need, who you need to love. You need to love you, then everyone else. So, reframe that. Reframe how every time you come to something, when you're stuck, every time you get to it, oh, I'm procrastinating. Stop it. Stop saying that. No, this is let me identify my real problem. My teacher, this is just an example, Mrs. Salamander said to me when I was writing, right? You'll never be able to write because you're a lefty. You'll never be able to write the right way. Now, I took that and if I were afraid, fearful, or limiting my beliefs, I would take that, I'm never writing again. I can't write well because I write upside down. I'm not going to draw. I'm not going to be creative because I remember what Mrs. Salamander said. But reframe that. I may not be able to write like others, but I write the way I want to. And I'm creative, and I can create anything I want. Reframe what is being said to you when you identify it so that you can move forward. Because then you take the next step. So what's the next step after you reframe it? Well, let's see. Since I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to, I'm going to chisel out some time to be creative. So if it's only 30 minutes, I'm doing it. 30 minutes it is. So on my calendar, on my phone, it buzzes, I do it, boom, boom, boom. No questions asked. Move forward. Now, I'm going to tell you that those are the things that you will hear in overcoming limiting beliefs. You can get this done. You can really get this done. To overcome limiting beliefs and truly break through to the next level, these are some of the things that you can do. Now, you may need someone who kind of like pull things out of you because you're really not thinking, because you're thinking on one subject or one thing. And that's where I come in. I help you. I think outside the box. I think outside of you. I think and see who you really are because you're glowing with it. But more so than that, I help you see who you really are. Now, if you still struggle with this, still have problems, I'm going to ask you to get the rest of the questions. Ask for the workbook. At the bottom of this video, ask for the workbook. Say, hey, I want the workbook so I can finish those questions. Ask for it. And if you want to take it another step, all you have to do is contact me or mention down under this video, I'd like to make an appointment with you. But in the comments section, there's always a way to make an appointment with me. I hope today you got something out of what I said and you can overcome your limiting beliefs and truly break through to the next level. Bye for now.